Hey there, Geeks and Geekettes. Today, I'm going to rank the Batman franchise. So, I'm the Bearded Geek, and I'm going to rank the Batman movies for you. I love Batman. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Batman. Batman and Spider-Man was sort of my thing as a very young child. I loved Batman. My dad got me comics, posters, action figures. You'll be able to see back there that I've got pretty much the entire Batman 1989 toy collection. Most of this I've bought again as an adult after losing or throwing out stuff. But I do have the Joker figure that was originally mine. And there's a few other bits that were mine. There's a McDonald's Batmobile toy, I think it was. Obviously I've got a massive Batman section there, and all of those shelves there in the corner of Batman. I'll show you them towards the end of the video. So I'm not going to include the Suicide Squad because it was crap and Batman was only in it for a few seconds. I'm not going to include Lego Batman or the Batman animated movies. If I did, Mask of the Phantasm would be right up the top of the list, probably in third or fourth place. I'm also not going to include Justice League because it wasn't a Batman movie per se, and I'm not going to include the 1940s Batman and Robin movies because I can't really remember them. I did watch them when I was a kid with my dad, but I can't really remember them. So, a bit of backstory. Batman was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger in 1939 for Detective Comics. Batman's first appearance was in Detective Comics number 27 in 1939, and in total the movies have grossed $4.99 billion, and it is the 11th highest grossing film franchise. So number 9, and this shouldn't surprise anyone, is Batman and Robin from 1997. It starred George Clooney as Batman, who is quite a capable actor, but this film sucked. It was truly awful. It also starred Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and it was the campest. It wouldn't even have looked good in with Adam West's Batman. Uma Thurman was a very hammy Poison Ivy, and they absolutely ruined Bane in this film. It was just cheesy, really badly acted garbage. It was utterly rubbish. I mean, the next film on the list I enjoyed as a kid. This one I hated the first time I saw it. I've tried to watch it again, and it's just awful. There's just nothing I enjoy about this film. Number 8 is Batman Forever in 1995. Directed by Joel Schumacher, same as Batman and Robin, and starred Val Kilmer as Batman, and also starred Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face. Now, as a kid, when this film first came out, I loved it. I had the soundtrack, I had action figures, and I really enjoyed it in the cinema. And I remember everyone else really enjoying it. It had really good reviews. Later in life, I can see how bad this movie was. Val Kilmer basically dialed his sort of performance in. It wasn't a very good performance at all. Tommy Lee Jones wasn't Two-Face. He was basically trying to act like Jack Nicholson's Joker with the Two-Face makeup on, and it didn't work. And Jim Carrey, as a kid I loved him. Now I can't stand that movie with him in. It was just so over the top and so cartoon-esque. It just didn't sort of follow suit from the previous movies, and that's the really weird thing. They changed directors from Tim Burton to Joel Schumacher, changed the Batman actors, but it was still the same run of movies because Alfred was played by the same character, Commissioner Gordon was played by the same actor, and obviously Tommy Lee Jones playing Two-Face didn't really fit with the original Batman because somebody else played him. Nicole Kidman was in the movie as Chase Meridian, or Dr. Chase Meridian, and she just kept looking, sort of staring off into space, looking bored, and there's just not a great deal to love about the film. There are some okay-ish action scenes. Robin's backstory is okay, but no, just not a good Batman movie for me. Number 7, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, this film kind of is polarizing to me because I think Ben Affleck as Batman was brilliant. I loved his Batman, and I also loved his Bruce Wayne. And it was nice to have an actor that was the exact same height as Batman, the same build, the same jaw, and he was a Batman fan. Ben Affleck is a comic book fan. But the movie wasn't very good. I mean, obviously the Batman murdering people left, right and centre, which is pretty much the exact opposite of what Batman would do. Obviously it was more of a sequel to Man of Steel, and they just sort of shoehorned the Dawn of Justice stuff in to bring in the Justice League quicker, and we all know what happened there, because that was poo. There were some good moments in this film. The scene with Bruce Wayne running into Gotham to rescue people from the carnage of Superman fighting Zod, that was a really good scene. And this film is made up of some really good scenes, and I loved Ben Affleck's Batman, and I like Cavill's Superman as a darker take on Superman. But the whole Martha thing, cheesy. I liked the fight scenes with Batman, but it was a bit too brutal for Batman, because Batman, you know, his rule is he doesn't kill. And this film, he murders just about everything in sight and tries to murder Superman. The effects were really good on it, but obviously Batman's car being mounted with cannons that could take out tanks and him just smashing through people, just not the Batman he should have been. And Ben Affleck was perfect casting, as long as we ignore what he did with Daredevil. Yee. So my number 6 is Batman the Movie 1966. This is obviously Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin, Cesar Romero as the Joker, and basically Batman and Robin go up against the 4 sort of most famous foes: Penguin, Joker, Catwoman, and the Riddler. If you're looking for a serious Batman film, this is not it. But this film, I think it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. The whole scene with Batman running around with the bomb, trying to throw it into the sea to save people, and wherever he turns, there's somebody innocent in his way, and he can't quite get rid of this bomb. It also features probably one of my most favourite comedy scenes in a movie, and that would be the shark repellent spray. When Batman is on a helicopter ladder trying to get up and a shark bites onto his leg, he sprays it with some shark repellent spray, and the shark quickly buggers off. Comedy gold. For the time, it was brilliant, and I loved this movie as a kid. It was a sort of a regular sort of movie that I'd watch with my dad. Obviously, Adam West is synonymous with the Batman character, and it influenced the comics a great deal. The lighter, more campy tone of the TV show sort of infiltrated the comics, and the comics may not be seen as brilliant back then, but I do like it. I do like the camp silliness, and I think they were absolutely great fun. I loved the TV show, and I've obviously watched the animated Batman 1966 movie, and it's just great fun. I really enjoyed it. Even Mrs. Geek enjoys the Adam West Batman stuff. So as I said, Batman 89 was what started my love of my comic book collection, and I have pretty much all of the toys of the run. I am missing a fin off the Batwing. I have 2 Jokers, obviously I've got the Squirters to go with them, and I've still got a carded 1989 Batman. If you look closely, there are 2 versions, one with a rounded face, one with a more square jaw. So I've got the 2 Batman figures that were released for that run. And over here we've got some of my Batman art. We've got a Commissioner Gordon from the Arkham Asylum games, a Dark Knight figure, See, an oversized Batfleck figure. And then we've got some Eagle Moss collectibles, another oversized comic book Batman, a Joker mask as part of my costume, the Dark Knight Returns figures, some Vinnie mates, Batman and Harley Quinn Mad Love figures and book. My stepdaughter got me that, she won it in a fairground. Then I've got my mech suit Batman. This was a model kit that was bought for me by Mrs. Geek. In the back is a Christian Bale bubble bath that's still full. Obviously there's my Batfleck statue. I love this thing. And then we've got my Suicide Squad figures, all complete, and then I built Killer Croc. And down here we have just random figures. Some of these were actually mine from when I was a kid, and most I've picked up since. I think these were McDonald's figures as well. Lego Batman, my stepdaughter made me that out of plastic. So yeah, there's some of my Batman figures there. There are some of the DC things mixed in. And then underneath we've got my Batman animated movies and TV series, my animated Batman action figures, animated series. Behind there is probably the best McDonald's toy ever created. It's got a mirror in this, you either get the Joker or Batman or both. Then I've got the tumbler with Batman inside, and back there we have Danny DeVito's Penguin. And on the bottom we've got Victor Zsasz from Gotham, a Batmobile from the comics, a Lego Batman, Batman candy sticks, Harley Quinn, it's like a Funko Pop but it's made of cloth, and more candy sticks, stuff out of Kinder Eggs, an old Batman LCD game that still works, and mugs, belt buckles. We've got Harley Quinn's baseball bat, Killing Joke poster, a Legend of Batman poster. That's one of the prints of my artwork. That's a print, not the actual original, because I sold the original. I'm not going to get all my Batman comics out because they're all stored away in the drawers, but there's Batman vs Judge Dredd, Judgment on Gotham. You can see the Batman 75-year anniversary tin behind. Number 5, The Dark Knight Rises 2012. Christian Bale as Batman, Tom Hardy as Bane. Now, I know a lot of people thought this film was really weak, and I love it. I think Tom Hardy was exceptional as Bane. Everyone sort of comes down hard on the voice that he put on, but he was going off the animated series voice, because Bane is supposed to be a sort of a Mexican or South American luchador wrestler, and he tried to do something different with the voice, not to distinguish himself as a British guy, and I can see past that. I mean, the guy packed on some pounds for this, and you may not know it, but Tom Hardy is a very short man, and the way they shot this movie for him to look bigger or the same height as Batman was quite impressive. Bane is genuinely scary in this movie. He was a great villain. I like the twist at the end. I do like Christian Bale's Batman. Is he a bit on the slim side and all the rest of it compared to the comics? Yes, but as his own standalone trilogy, I think he was a brilliant Batman. I liked it was based in a more real world, so Bane didn't have big venom tubes and was too big to exist in our world. I liked the sort of the tech suit and the realism of the police force. They weren't bumbling idiots, apart from all of them piling into the sewers and getting trapped. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? So yeah, I love this movie. The nuclear bomb at the end, would everyone have survived? I doubt it, but it is what it is. The Robin shoehorn at the end didn't sort of do anything for me. But when I first watched in the cinema, I was praying that we were going to get a Robin movie. Number 4, Batman Begins. Now, this film was directed by Christopher Nolan again. It was released in 2005. And somehow this film, even though I was a Batman fan, completely missed me. I didn't even know it'd been made until it came out on DVD. Saw a DVD of it in Blockbuster and was like, there's a new Batman film. I had no idea. Being a Welshman, I was quite happy that Christian Bale was playing Batman, a Welshman playing the Bat. And this film was awesome. This film was obviously the reboot after the absolute mess Joel Schumacher had made of the Bat franchise. And it was just a really good film. Christian Bale was a good Batman. Alfred was great, played by Michael Caine. Liam Neeson as the twist villain. I thought that landed. I thought it worked. Was he what everyone wanted Ra's al Ghul to be? No, but I still enjoyed it. Gary Oldman was brilliant as Commissioner Gordon, or Lieutenant Gordon as he is then. And I think Cillian Murphy played an outstanding Scarecrow. It was almost true to comic book. And he had the scary mask and everything, but the real world, or brought his powers more sort of realistic and into the real world. And it was great. The only downside to this film is Katie Holmes, because she looks like she smoked more than her fair share of doobies going into this. She just looked spaced right out. She just couldn't act at all in this movie. I've never seen her in anything else, so I'm guessing she can't act at all. But yeah, I love this film, and it sort of reinvigorated the Bat franchise. How I missed it being released, I'll never know, because I didn't hear of it, and it's quite shocking considering I'm such a big Batman fan. So, number 3, Batman Returns. 1992, Michael Keaton as Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Now, I know I slated Batman vs Superman for Batman murdering people, because Michael Keaton's Batman does sort of murder a fair few clowns in this movie, but he sets one on fire with the Batmobile's afterburner. But I still love this movie. I think Danny DeVito's Penguin was an original take on the character. He was really, really dark. He was gross. Christopher Walken played another villain, Max Schreck, and he was brilliant. I mean, Christopher Walken is Christopher Walken. I absolutely loved this movie as a kid. I enjoyed it almost as much as the original. 1992, I was 11, and I loved Michelle Pfeiffer. Her as Catwoman was my teenage crush. I thought she was amazing. Loved the film, loved the effects. And even replaying this movie now, the effects hold up, the makeup holds up. It's such a shame that Michael Keaton and Tim Burton didn't come back to do the third one. But there was going to be a third Batman movie with Keaton. They were going to introduce Robin. And apparently all of this got pushed aside because of action figure sales. Oops. And number 2, and my top 2 change on a daily basis, much like my other top 2s of lists that I do. And it's Batman 1989 by Tim Burton. Again, Michael Keaton. Jack Nicholson as my favourite Joker. He was brilliant. He was maniacal. He was funny. He was dangerous. As an adult looking back, the backstory of him being Jack Napier, we didn't need that, but it worked at the time. I was 8 years old when this film came out, and I remember my dad, he had to sort of vet the film before he let me and my brother watch it, because my brother's 2 years younger than me. And with it being, I think it was a 15 when it was released, and my dad, he was careful what we saw after my incident with watching a Freddy Krueger film too young. But he let us watch it as soon as it came out on video, and the movie blew me away, totally blew me away, and that's what led to this section of my collection there. This film was such a massive influence on me, and pretty much without this movie, this room and all of this stuff wouldn't exist. I watched Christopher Reeve's Superman when I was a kid, and it was cool, but it didn't blow me away as a kid, whereas this film completely changed it. This is where I got into comic books, action figures, outside of He-Man. Just an outstanding movie. Jack Nicholson was perfect. Michael Keaton was perfect then. I mean, now maybe he was a bit small and goofy as Bruce Wayne, but for his time it was perfect, and I still love this film. And it would normally be my number one on any other given day, but I've not long watched the number one movie, and you can all tell what that is. So yeah, there's my number two, Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. If you haven't seen this film, where have you been? There's even some great comedy in this, like the Joker put on a pair of glasses. You wouldn't hit the man with glasses. Batman just smashes him in the face, and instead of the Joker just falling over and rolling around in pain, he pretends to spit out his teeth and chattering teeth hit the floor. Just a great movie. And that brings me to number one, The Dark Knight 2008. Directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Christian Bale and, of course, Heath Ledger as the Joker. Now, I've just said Jack Nicholson is my favourite Joker, but I think Heath Ledger's Joker sits on a level with him. He was a very different Joker. He wasn't a comic book Joker, but I loved what Heath Ledger brought to the table. I spent probably 3 or 4 Halloweens in a row dressed as the Joker. Never in the purple suit. I always wore the nurse's outfit and the Joker makeup. But I loved this movie. This movie, I go to the cinema quite often. I watch movies in the cinema quite often, and the only films I've ever paid to go back and watch on numerous sit-ins were... So as you can tell, I'm now in my living room. For some reason my video cut off halfway through that. I got as far as saying I cross-dressed as a Joker, and then went to watch the Batman film countless times. I think it was 4 or 6 times in total, and the only other film I've ever done that for was Avengers Infinity War, which should say exactly what I think of this movie. Heath Ledger's portrayal as the Joker was amazing. The pencil trick, ta-da, awesome. Just the mind games he played, the way he twisted Harvey Dent, and Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent, brilliant. Outstanding. Gary Oldman, Michael Caine, just a really solid film, and it outdone Batman Begins tenfold. Probably on any given day of the week, this is my favourite film, probably of all time. It's up there with Pulp Fiction and Alien. Maybe those 3 will switch in different rankings, but yeah, this film was outstanding. It looked amazing. It sounded amazing. It was the first film I ever saw in IMAX, or sections there in IMAX. Just an amazing film. So obviously my video deleted a large chunk, and I've had to re-record the ending of this, so it doesn't look amazing because my lighting down here is bad, and I can't record upstairs because you can probably hear the odd noise because my stepson decided to learn a saxophone. Oh dear. So guys, that was the Bearded Geeks ranking of the Batman movies. I hope you enjoyed. I don't think that one's going to be too controversial. Maybe I put Batman vs Superman too high for some people's tastes, but you know, this is my list, mine. So I hope you enjoyed the list. I hope you enjoyed the little sort of walk around of my Batman collection, and I'll see you guys soon. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll be back with a review or ranking again soon. Goodbye.